me to live here. It's illegal for me to live anywhere because I don't have the money for a place. One person not liking me can destroy everything that I fucking have and take away any chance that I have of ever being able to show this evidence or stop the ongoing abuse. That includes the neglect. Everywhere that I go, I am fucking victimized. Because I have no friends or family. Not one friend or family member. Not one has ever tried to help me to turn in the crimes against me. Ever. They wouldn't even pretend to try unless they could drag it out until it was fucking pointless. Well, it's not pointless. It shows that my friends and my family took advantage of me. Which is exactly why these government agencies are supposed to help. But these government agencies aren't going to help unless your friends or family give a shit and go in with you, and these people who want to pawn me off onto an agency. No, you have to be involved as a friend or family member. Involved. The reason that we are at-risk adults is because we have friends like Kaitlynne Tatum who want to look the other way. They always expect you to understand. You have to understand. They are not willing to take the time to even listen to what you have to say. But they expect you to listen to what they have to say. They expect you to expend resources that you don't fucking have for things that you don't fucking have the ability to utilize anyway. Because of the term mentally ill. Mentally ill, mentally ill. Without a friend or family member who fucking cares, and none of them exist, I have to beg them to pretend to fucking care. If they cared about me, they would listen to me. A lot of people, years after the fact, are like, man, I didn't know that was going on. Why didn't you come to me? I fucking did, dumbass. You were too fucking busy. Oh, I don't remember that. It could have something to do with the fucking mass quantities of drugs and fucking alcohol you're using. What the fuck is Kaitlynne Tatum's excuse? That's right, she couldn't do her job as a fucking mandated goddamn reporter when I first came to her about this fucking abuse. Why? Because she was too fucking busy to even find out what was going on. Too fucking busy. If you're a friend who is too fucking busy for 6 goddamn years, and then I ask you to leave because you have not been a friend, then leave. That doesn't mean pretend finally after 6 goddamn years like you're gonna make a fucking attempt. Go out of your way not to do anything fucking effective. Jesus goddamn Christ, how difficult is it to understand that if you don't know what the fuck is going on, you're not able to help anybody. Your advice is fucking shit. It's fucking hurtful. When you can't hear what's going on because you're busy telling me to go somewhere that I've already been, while I'm trying to explain to you that I've already been there, you want to argue with me like I'm too fucking retarded to know where I've been. Then there's the fact that I've had to go to literally hundreds of these places and make thousands of phone calls alone. And you know what? There are often times when I don't know exactly which one I fucking called on which day. I have to go back and look at all the fucking evidence because I can't remember literally hundreds of people's names off the top of my head. Every time I move, I have to learn people's names all over again. There's a lady who works here in this Starbucks. I fucking don't feel comfortable going in there at all. The whole time she's fucking working, I'm on pins and goddamn needles. Because she's a fucking bitch. I'm tired of getting stared at like I'm fucking retarded. I'm tired of her rolling her fucking eyes at me. I never get a goddamn thing to the woman. I get that she was young and pretty once, but she's not now. She doesn't get those perks anymore. Well, guess what? I never got them. So stop taking it out on me that your fucking milk horse ran off on you. Did you really think you're gonna be young and fucking pretty forever? She was the manager the day the mean girl was there, and they were all being mean. It's obvious she's a fucking man-hater. There's probably a man like me out there that told her no. And she couldn't fucking handle it. Right now, she's the manager again. You know, that shit is fucking harmful. That fucking judgmental bullshit towards people who are fucking trying. Does it occur to her that the things that she has, she's lucky to have those? That I'm not stuck in this situation by choice? I mean, sure, I could kill myself instead of trying to get help. But this woman, she complains about this guy named John, who, of course, he's kind of new here. And she fucking talks to him like he's retarded. Fucking stares at him like he's retarded. The manager here, his name is John, too. That fucking mean girl was there, well, many times. She thinks that she should be the fucking manager. She thinks that John is a fucking idiot. And she thinks that Kevin is a fucking idiot. I record when she's fucking working for a goddamn reason. So I got Jennifer trying to be professional. She's bitching about the manager and the assistant manager. And I know I have to mind my P's and Q's because I'm here long enough that they could kick me out if they wanted to. John doesn't have a problem with me. Kevin doesn't have a problem with me. Jennifer definitely has a fucking problem. No matter what I say, all right? I can't make a joke or she'll fucking stare at me like I'm fucking retarded. I can't say hello or hi or anything pleasant. She'll fucking stare at me like I'm fucking retarded. She will not fucking reply except be a fucking cunt. And when I say cunt, you know why I use that fucking word. People like her get people killed and injured. No, I can't feel safe in Starbucks safe place policy if she's in charge. She's mean to John. But he needs his job, so he fucking lets her talk down to him. There's a guy here who's autistic himself. He has Asperger's, and she fucking thinks that he's a goddamn work mule. She barks at him like, fuck. What the fuck makes you think you should be boss? These people do things just fine when John is here and running the place because he is more than capable. And he is more than capable of talking to the customers and his employees like they're fucking people. But Jennifer's nice to the girls here. One of them us girls gotta stick together types. And in these situations, you can't really say nothing, because if you say something, they'll find an excuse to kick you out. And I can't fucking afford that. Meanwhile, I got friends like Kaitlynne Tatum. Right? No, we're not friends no more. After 6 years of her fucking ignoring me. Cops said that I didn't try to get help. Kaitlynne Tatum is one of many witnesses that are proof that I did try to get help. People say you need therapy. Shit, I was in fucking therapy before Natalie was killed. Because of the fucking abuse by Natalie and her fucking friends. And yes, the actual abuse was primarily her friends, but it was all over fucking slander from her and her fucking sister and Maddie goddamn Boa. I'm tired of this Me Too bullshit being used as an excuse to harm male victims. I'm tired of female predators getting to utilize this every day to destroy good men's lives because they didn't get what they wanted. Us girls gotta stick together. Yeah, what'd that result in? That resulted in Rihanna Ingersoll beating on fucking 2 little girls because she didn't get her way. I literally had to break the law to try to get those girls safe, and thank goodness it worked. That's the thing with police. Most police are Jennifers. Most police are like her, judgmental fucking assholes. When I go back in there, I'm gonna be polite to her as fucking always. Because I am the subservient in that environment. Just as I was a subservient when I was in Brett Roloff's environment. Between him helping me and him doing meth. Which did he do? Meth. That's right. I fucking tried overdosing on it. I gotta go to friends like Kaitlynne Tatum, right? Really? Most of the people that I went to about this abuse, including Kaitlynne Tatum, are mandated reporters. Veronica Bruce, mandated reporter. I didn't even get to explain to Veronica Bruce what was going on before Natalie died. Why? Because she was fucking drunk. Anyway, this guy who was working today who's autistic, she fucking talked to him like he was a goddamn pack mule. Like he was a fucking slave. Like he owed it to her to be subservient. And I'm not making fun of him when I say this, but he's skinny as fuck. All the girls that were working today could handle that weight better than he can, guaranteed. He was picked for the task because of his genitalia. As they often are. And as he took everything off the pallet outside and took it inside and put it into the storage room where it needed to go, as he was picking up the last box, that's when Jennifer asks if he needs help with that. Fuck. But these guys will just take it because they need the job. I mean, don't get me wrong, I expect at least some goofing off at a place like this. And there's gonna be. At least a little bit. It breaks the fucking monotony. But just so you know, fucking gossip and trash talking your goddamn bosses and your coworkers and fucking talking down to your coworkers makes it a very negative fucking environment, and it makes those fucking coworkers not fucking happy to be there. If they're not happy to be there, they're not productive workers. If Jennifer wants to state outright that she's sexist and she doesn't want to work with men, maybe she should try one of these literally thousands of businesses in America that are allowed to just hire women when there's no such company for men. If I start a company for men, to be run by men, it'll get shut down and I'll be treated like I'm sexist. No. I got a lot of really cool clothes I've designed. I think it'd be great, because they're all useful, to make those clothes, sell one and give one away. Use the proceeds to give them away like they do with them shoes. That company that gives away them shoes to them kids in Africa. They sell a shoe here, they give away 2 pairs to the African kids. That's a great idea. When it comes to men's rights advocacy, man-haters, people like Jennifer, are the kind of people who destroy that shit. Thank goodness she's an older man-hater, because she ain't exactly tech-savvy or enjoying the internet the way that many of the younger ones are addicted to it. Otherwise, she could do all sorts of damage to innocent people's lives. While she's minding her P's and Q's when John is there, she's talking shit while he's gone. And quite unpleasant, might I add. You know what? I get if you don't like people. I get it. But the least you can do, especially if you work for a company that has a safe place policy, is be equal. Alright, you don't want to acknowledge my existence. You want to look down on me like I'm some sort of a fucking urchin who is stuck in this position specifically just to piss you off because I have a dick. No. And yeah, sometimes I like to do something silly, like put on a unicorn hat. Even if just for a few minutes. Why not? Why not have a little bit of fucking fun? Why not do something that isn't fucking pathetic and expected by society? This woman has expectations. Most of us are not going to live up to her expectations, and for goddamn sure, if she had to see herself in the mirror, she'd understand she sure as goddamn fuck doesn't give anywhere near that image herself. She tries to put on the I'm perfect act. Well, you're trying to undermine all of your bosses at work, and they're pleasant to work with. People smile and are fucking happy while John and Kevin are here. The moment they're gone, Jennifer makes it a toxic environment. An unsafe environment. An environment where I have to be afraid of that judgment being turned on me and used on me. I know I'm pushing my luck here, but I got nowhere else to fucking go. Because of sexism. Friends like Kaitlynne Tatum. They're not friends. In that 6 years, how much time did she spend actually trying to find out what was going on? None. You tell me to do stuff I've already done. You want me to start over from scratch again. You want to ignore the crimes altogether and the reason why, and all of the evidence that is important. It'll take 2 years, if I'm lucky, to get fucking housing here, with help, which she's not going to stick around that long to help. And that 2 years doesn't start until I've got a rental history, because I have to have 2 years worth of rental history before I can get into housing in the United States, because I literally had to break windows to force cops to do their job in Chapel, Nebraska, over literally dozens of assaults and attempted assaults and threats against my life. Oh yeah, and others. Plus the harassment against my friends as well. If they can bitch to me about it and judge me about it, but they're not willing to hear my side or look at my side, what kind of fucking friends are they? With Dallas coming home from work and bitching at me that people at work are fucking hounding him. Who? Who, Dallas Richmond? Who is fucking harassing you? Because every time you told me people at work were harassing you, I spoke up. Which is what you should have fucking done. Instead of treat me like I'm a shitty person because those people harassed you. What the fuck did I do to those people? What the fuck did you do to those people? What did either one of us do to deserve their judgment? And what the fuck did I do to deserve your fucking judgment because they're assholes? Fucking friends like Kaitlynne Tatum. If you don't look, it didn't happen, right? Now, I'd like to go to Starbucks about this Jennifer lady. Perhaps after payday I will, because I need them to understand how harmful these things are. That this sexism towards men is getting a lot of my loved ones killed. A lot of men and women killed because you won't listen to male victims. There's a lot of people who are dead. And a lot of people who are assaulted. And a lot of money that was paid out to other people who are victims. Who are victimized after me by literally the same people by name. Millions of dollars, literally millions of dollars have been paid out to other victims of Wayland Lolatai in Boulder County. Victims I know. And some of those victims were predatory towards me. Like Sammy Leon Lawrence IV. Of course, Darren O'Connor had a lot to do with the situation with that, and having to do with Michelle Rodriguez, another victim I was in contact with. By the way, she's also a witness that shows the truth of many of the other stories that happened in Boulder. I need help in person showing this. I need someone to sit down with me and look at the fucking evidence. None of this, me paying somebody to help, and all they're doing is hanging out with someone else. All Tara wanted to do was hang out with fucking Nora and Ed and fucking run off with my money again. Literally every time. Literally every single time. 3 different occasions, I gave her $400 or more so that she could help me. What did she do? She pretended like she was going to help me until she got the money that she wanted, and then she didn't need me anymore. She literally left immediately. As soon as Tara got the money that she wanted to buy them tweaker cams that she wanted, she left to go hang out with Ed. As soon as she got that money for which she was supposed to be helping me, instead it was her hanging out with Ed and Nora and shuffling and reshuffling a stack of papers that did not read reshuffled 500 fucking times. It was good enough. I needed Tara to look at evidence, verify evidence, and help me to fucking turn it in. Instead, her and her fucking idiot friend destroyed evidence, wasted my fucking time, and took advantage of me. But it doesn't fucking matter unless someone helps me to turn it in. Instead of someone who's gonna put it off for 2 weeks, not do any of the things they said they were gonna do that actually help. The help that I asked for that was promised was not provided. The help that she wanted to provide, that I was willing to accept, I still need the other help. You want to give this kind of help. And then, of course, what's the situation with that? Let's look at the situation with Michelle Stewart making a fake Sean Schwartz account. No, I'm not going to fucking prison because you're fucking not listening. Because you're busy saying, let's do this, and this. Hey, time out. Time out. I've done those things. Let's take a look at how Sean Schwartz was treated when other people made GoFundMes in my name. How is Sean Schwartz treated when other people made fake profiles in my name? How do I get treated by the police and by the courts when it's got my name on it and you won't come forward? Then you want your name down. You don't want to be fucking associated with it after that. You did what you wanted and I get punished. The point here is to explain to you what will get me punished. But you need to listen instead of repeatedly making those suggestions over and over that don't work. If it's not with me, it's not help. If you don't go in with me to these places, or call these places with me, or look at this evidence, what help are you? You tell me I'm selfish for not thinking about your family. I am thinking about your family. When you say, hey, Sean, they're threatening my kids. Well, I told you they would. Did you think I was kidding? Why didn't you help turn it in? Why did you let me get treated like I'm schizophrenic for telling the truth about that? Why didn't you come forward with me about the fact that you were threatened, harassed, and intimidated into not helping me? Why do you leave me stuck out here in public at the mercy of people like Jennifer? People like that mean girl last weekend. I'm afraid to even be in there right now. I don't have enough money to go over to Denny's today. I'm out of cash. And sure, a little bit of money might help out, but it's just temporary. Without someone in person to fucking help me. Instead of fucking arguing and saying over and over again, you can't be here in person because you're elsewhere. Instead of saying that 10,000 times, understand that I already know that. Stop making it about you. How is making every single thing about you going to help the victim? It doesn't. And how does sexism help the victim? A lot of you don't want to admit how sexist you are, but how do you treat a male victim? Especially if he's homeless. It's the, that's nice, dear. Or you end up with those people who stare at you like you did something horrible to their dog, or you burned their house down, or it's your fault that they didn't get a unicorn for their 15th birthday. It's nuts. I didn't ask to be born the gender that I am. And I get told about all these perks that I get that I'm not getting from people who get all sorts of perks for their gender. A lot care about the law, they care about bias, because that's what the American public cares about. That's why so much money is spent trying to paint all the homeless people as horrible moochers who don't do nothing, who never did do nothing, you know? Most of the people out here on the streets, you know why they're out here? Victimization. They were victimized into it. Many of them were injured on the job, and that just sucks. A lot of them were abused by their friends and family, taken advantage of financially and physically. But as a male, we're told that we need to just shut up. We need to go to the back of the bus. We're not allowed to speak about the abuse that happened to us and try to get help specifically with the abuse that happened to us and trying to turn in the abuse that happened to us. And we get stuffed in our face generalizations about men that have been shown to be untrue. Well, we try to pretend that women can't be predators. Women have been taught that they can be predators because they can get away with it where a man can't. And even that's not true, is it? A good-looking man can get away with quite a lot. All it takes is one screwed up person to mess things up for everybody. When I was at Tabby's, Tabby wasn't the problem. Graham wasn't the problem there either. The problem was an alcoholic who was Tabby's boyfriend, and Tabby's a bigger woman. It's not easy for her to get the attention of somebody and get them to stick around, but since she paid for everything, yeah, he'd be with her for years and years. His mom would pay for his alcohol, and then he'd go have a baby with Tabby. And then when there was protection orders because he couldn't stop hitting his kids, Tabby still let him live there. Just like Natalie Bollinger explained that Rose kept doing her own daughters and abusive men. She chose abusive men. But are these abusive men the ones that are being harmed? Are they the ones that were forced into homelessness? When you do something, don't do it in my name. Don't do it as if you are me, because that doesn't do me any favors. I'm trying to show all of the evidence. When you do something like that, my predators get to use that to pretend I'm trying to do harmful things. And even though you know I'm not trying to do harmful things, and you may know that wasn't your intent in doing so, you're not going to speak up in court. You're not even going to try. Ever. You've shown that. You will let me be harmed. And then you'll tell me you're sorry and that you'll make the time and that you won't do that whole ignoring me thing again. You already made that promise. When you said that you would do something, and then it took you literally days to keep your word. You didn't keep your appointment. The no call, no show. How am I supposed to believe you if you're a no call, no show for 3 days, then you promise me you won't do that again, and then you're a no call, no show for 3 weeks? The whole 3 weeks, I need your help. I need you to keep the word that you said you were going to do. To do the things that you claimed that you would. I need you to actually do those things. Before I lose everything. Before everything is taken. And for me, having to explain that over and over again, and you still not getting it. If you didn't know I was autistic, most of you wouldn't bother with arguing me like I'm retarded. I get here where there's a bunch of people who believe in their superior genetics, blonde hair and blue eyes and all that. I don't have to go along with that rhetoric. I don't have to believe your BS. I spent all this money because I can't do these things for myself. I have to have a friend or family member to help. The fact that they can't is far different from me not trying. I followed the protocol. I went to my friends and family. I went to law enforcement. When law enforcement didn't do their jobs, I went back to friends and family. They didn't care. Neither did mental health, who we're sent to. When cops don't want to do their jobs, we have to go to mental health, mental health, mental health. That's right. As a homeless and disabled male, you're not allowed to turn in anybody. You get reverted again to mental health. They stuff you in housing, and then when you're victimized in housing, they still don't care. They go out of their way to play stupid when you try to get your paperwork. There's no witnesses there to care. There's nobody who's going to speak up when they break the law. There's nobody who's going to speak up in court and say, oh, well, they said this, and obviously the law says otherwise. There's nobody going to look it up because nobody cares about me, no matter how good I am to them, no matter how good I was to them in the past. No matter how much I care about those people, they don't care about me. And there are plenty of predators all over the place that would love nothing than an opportunity to treat me completely like crap. Try to twist and manipulate something into them being a poor victim after treating me horribly. Me Too movement? Really? No. It's not Me Too. It's sexist. It's only for women. It's only for women. As a male, you can't go to any of those places and say, I have been victimized. I need help turning it in. Because you will be ostracized and berated and treated completely like trash by a bunch of women who want to talk about equality, but want to treat you like you're an animal because you were abused. And obviously you couldn't possibly be abused because you have a penis. And everything with a penis is an abuser, and everything with a vagina is a victim. And that's the way it is, set in stone, black and white. God bless America. Every man in America is a hostage. Every man in America, even married men, have to be afraid that if they don't have sex with their stalker, that their stalker will destroy their entire life with a lie. While the police refuse to look at actual evidence that I have, they will harm me over slander, over bias. Because I'm not good looking, I'm not young, I'm not pretty, I'm not female, I'm not rich. I don't fit any of these protected groups. They'll help out a child molester before they help me out. If I am assaulted by a child molester, they'll try pretending like I committed a hate crime for defending myself against a child molester, which they have. By the way, they had to drop the charges. There's also ample evidence that I went to them repeatedly. The problem is I can't turn it in alone. The law doesn't work when you're called mentally ill unless there's somebody who actually cares, not somebody who's going to tell you to do things on your own. Because 100% of the time, when they make it a situation where it is your word versus theirs, you are going to lose. You are called mentally ill for a reason. That makes everything magically your fault to the American public, to the courts, to the police, and to anyone else. You get to see how on the news they want to push all these shootings because of the mentally ill. No, it's because of freaking bullies, people who make the workplace hell. I can speak about several people just in this immediate vicinity who are like that. And these are the same people who want to tell other people what's appropriate. This is inappropriate, and that's inappropriate. I can't believe he spoke to me like that. You mean you can't believe that a male would ever possibly stick up to himself when he's being bullied by females? What is it that makes you believe that that is somehow magically okay? Because men are this and men are that. Which men? Which men did those things in specific to you? Go after those men. If the man who diddled you when you were underage is named Robert Franklin Warnick, you put Robert Franklin Warnick behind bars, and I'll help you do it. But if Robert Franklin Warnick chooses to victimize me as well, would you help me to put him behind bars? No, you wouldn't. You didn't. You didn't care. You told me that I have to do it myself, knowing that an at-risk adult who is called mentally ill is not allowed to do it themselves. Matter of fact, they mentioned that you people made me do it myself as an excuse to pretend that I was some sort of a horrible, mentally ill monster. Do you have any idea how many times I've been assaulted by law enforcement? Do you have any idea how many environments that could have potentially been safe were made unsafe by one person who's crazy? When I say crazy, I'm not talking about schizophrenic. I'm talking about somebody who is a control freak, who feels that the only person who should be allowed to have an opinion is them. The only person who should be allowed to speak is them. The only person who should be allowed any decision-making powers or rights whatsoever should be them. Their boss shouldn't be allowed to speak or allowed to think or allowed to be a boss because they would always do it better. And then their other coworkers, of course, have to bow down to their very will and command. Well, these people say, oh, well, it's inappropriate for this person to say, hey, it's not okay to bully me. Oh, well, it's inappropriate for you to say that. Well, you know what? It's entirely inappropriate for all four of those women 2 weekends ago to have the horrible conversations that they had. The superficial hatred towards everybody. That doesn't make it a safe environment, does it? So, of course, yeah, you got to learn about the people around you. Who is it that sees you as a person, and who is it that sees you as an animal? Who is it that might potentially help, and who is it that is most likely to harm you? And much of that can be picked up just by being friendly. If you're friendly to somebody and they never say hello and they always look down their nose at you if they look at you, well, they don't like you. It doesn't matter if you did anything to them or not. They're uppity and think they better than you. They think their poo smells like roses. Now, the real issue is when you have to depend on people like that. When you got a sheriff like that, or a boss like that, or a coworker like that, or even the manager at your local deli. is like that towards you. You never know what kind of bull crap that they're going to pull just because they're sick of seeing it. They're jealous of the fact that you don't have to this and you don't have to that. And then they name off a bunch of shit you wish you had. All these folks in houses say, well, you guys got freedom. You don't have to pay this and you don't have to pay that. Are you kidding me? This ain't freedom. You guys got what you had because you had help. You had cosigners when you first turned 18. You got money for graduating high school. You guys got all sorts of perks. And then those of us who don't have those perks, well, you treat us like we deserve it. Like we must not have worked as hard as you did to get free stuff out of our parents. If my car broke down, neither one of my parents were going to help me. Not even if I was in the same town. They were too busy with drugs or trying to get laid. My parents weren't very bright people. They should have never had kids. And it's not okay to victimize me for having parents or having crappy credit or having to start off without a signature for a damn thing. There was no co-signer for me for anything, ever. I've never been able to get a bank loan. I've lost jobs because I couldn't get paid enough to go to work. Like literally, it was costing me more money to go to work. When you get a $275 paycheck and you needed $230 of that just so you could pay a bill that now you're charged an extra $200 over not being able to pay it. Like, how do you charge me $200 extra? Because my boss didn't pay me? Oh yeah, but it's not their fault. And then the boss was like, well, it's not my fault. You should have paid it. With what? You didn't pay me the money you were supposed to on time. And when you're different, that's basically the majority of the work that you're stuck with. People who only want to pay you under the table, don't want to pay you even minimum wage for the hourly wages. You're not even getting paid for all the hours you work, even if you get paid. It's late enough that you got a whole bunch of overdraft fees, a bunch of this, a bunch of that, and it all screws up your credits. You're like, oh man, it's just 2 weeks. Dude, 2 weeks late cost me a bunch of money. For somebody who's never been able to have a cosigner, I gotta try to make my credit the best I can. And how am I supposed to do that when people are taking advantage of me? You have any idea how many jobs I friggin' worked at and didn't get paid? And then now that I'm disabled, people want to go, oh, you're just lazy, you just don't want to get a job. People getting jealous of me because of the fact that this is all I can do. I can barely function. They don't want to understand that. I'm able to speak the English language, so I should be able to magic up all this stuff that men are supposed to have. I'm supposed to have this magic white privilege delivered to my front door that I don't have. I'm supposed to have this magic $49,000 a year because I have male genitalia. I'm also supposed to be a predator, apparently, because I have male genitalia. Meanwhile, there ain't no such thing as feminism. Feminism was about equality. This ain't about equality. This is about harming innocent people because you didn't get what you wanted. And you know that the bias in political climate has changed enough that you should be able to be treated like a pretty princess. You should be allowed to get whatever you want. If a man won't have sex with you while you're drunk, well, hell, just go run around spreading rumors about him. You know the 3 rumors. Any one of those 3 is sufficient to destroy his life. You know it. Even worse is when you refuse to take him to court for such a thing. You're just going to run around all slide behind his back, talking trash, lying about it. I don't end up with those kind of situations. What I end up with is people who are jealous. And and hateful and angry, who accuse me of doing things to other people. Why? Because they have no moral ground to stand on in their own right. They have to throw things in my face that they weren't there for and don't know nothing about because they didn't bother to find out. Of course, they bothered to throw it in my face, didn't they? Of course they did. Kind of like the people who said they'd look at evidence and instead they just gave me a sandwich and then they want to throw it in my face for years that they gave me a sandwich, so I should be on homeless. I gave you a sandwich 6 months ago. You should be on homeless. Let's do the mathematics here, okay? It's going to cost you, let's say it's going to cost you $1,100 for cheap rent in the United States, which it's way over that in most places, just so you know. You're paying your $1,100 plus your first month's rent and utilities and last month's rent and utilities. So let's say it's not rent and utilities, it's just the rent. That's still $3,300 that you got to come up with. I make $800 a month. Where am I going to come up with that money? Oh yeah, if I had a cosigner. Well, I've never had a cosigner. And as a result of not having a cosigner and not having friends or family members who care, for my entire life, I've been victimized over the mentally ill tag and told that I deserve it because of my genitalia, because of my skin color, because I am privileged, apparently, to be victimized in the United States instead of somewhere else. I should be feeling privileged about being assaulted by the police because my skin color means that police aren't going to do that to me. No, I'm homeless. I'm a male. Both of those account for a very significant number of those killed by police. Over 95% of those killed by police are men. If the homeless people had a population size equal to any other group in the United States, let's say the homeless people had a population size equal to black people. Instead of 500,000 homeless people, there would be 60 million homeless people. 49% of those killed by police every year are homeless people who come from that very small group. If the homeless population had the same population size as black people, over 99% of those killed by police would be homeless people. The most marginalized in our country are men, the homeless, and the disabled. You pretending that I'm not homeless or disabled because I'm white, pretending that I chose it because I'm white, pretending that I am privileged to be homeless because I'm white, are out of your minds. Fact is, I don't make you cowards. I don't make you superficial or two-faced. Oh, I did something cool. Probably should have this. I got to get this. Pretty cool. There's an intent and purpose for it. Just like every other part. Just trying to keep my head straight until I can get someone to actually help. Someone to actually care. Somebody to take it seriously instead of half-ass it and tell me they're sorry for 6 months or 6 years. I don't need friends like Kaitlynne Tatum. I need honest friends. Kaitlynne Tatum would not do what a friend or family member should do or is supposed to do. A friend or family member is supposed to care when you're being abused. They didn't. They were too busy to care. Too busy with partying, too busy with getting drunk, too busy with doing drugs, too busy chasing the genitalia of another human being. Too busy trying to impress someone that doesn't like them, or who beats them, or who treats them like crap. Just too busy. Too busy to care. Too busy to even find out. As always, there's always some excuse, isn't there? You know what, excuses are acceptable too. Like if you make this excuse or that excuse, then they're magically a bad person if they still expect you to tell the truth. If they still expect you to do something about the abuse that you helped to perpetuate, when they still expect you to keep your word, to help them out like you said you would. But no, what you're going to do is you're going to get drunk and you're going to talk about yourself and make every excuse that you can, not caring about how horribly you destroyed that person and that person's life by never speaking out, by blaming them when you were victimized by their predators. My predators had actual help. What I got was BS. I got ripped off and told that I deserved to be ripped off. And then, of course, they want to use the mentally ill tag to get away with the screwed up things that they did. You know what? Some of these people didn't do these things because they're... Mostly they did them because they're selfish. Because they cared what other people think, while telling me I shouldn't care what other people think. And with all due respect, people are murdered every day over what other people think. So when you tell people they shouldn't care what other people think, you should think again. You should actually utilize your brain instead of believing every jerk out there just because they're the biggest jerk. I've had good bosses and I've had bad bosses, and you know who gets the best production out of me? The ones who talk to me like I'm a human being and treat me like a human being. If I dread even going to work, yeah, you're not going to get productive work out of me. You're not going to get productive work out of anybody who dreads going to work. There's a lot of people that don't get how many of my loved ones are dead because, well, because you guys are selfish. How many times people were violent towards me for speaking out about the abuse that you guys endure. And none of y'all are going to return that favor. A lot of people promised me that they would help me, and then they got a million and one excuses why they can't. So I offer to help them. But, of course, how long does it take? How long did it take from when I found out about Natalie Bollinger to when I posted up about her missing? About Mandy Singer's son? About Sean Sinclair, she's not my friend, she needs to go away. I needed help. She was showing that she wasn't a friend. She didn't care what people did to me. That was before Natalie was killed, by the way. One of many people that I went to try to get help doing the things that I needed help with. People kept saying, why don't you start a GoFundMe? I tried. I needed help doing it. After Natalie died, there was people who made up GoFundMe accounts in my name, and to this day I have people who pretend like I got tens of thousands of dollars from these GoFundMes. I didn't get a single penny. They went to two scammers, Carl Rogers and Candace Bonderland. That's where that money went. Those are the people who made those GoFundMes. But you don't care about that. None of these people in Selma care about anything. It's the that's nice you thing. Meanwhile, I gotta try to keep my head straight and not be stuck in all of this constant negativity. But that's what I live, people. I have to constantly fear for somebody who has a bad opinion about homeless people, or a bad opinion about males, or a bad opinion about people who are just a little different. A little different means that they're horrible people to most of the United States, primarily the Christian community. Say one thing and do another. The whole talking trash, and then you say bless her heart and it's magically okay. But no, it's not. You're a mean person. And that's mean-hearted. And that's not blessing her heart. I gotta go out and try to panhandle up enough money to go to Denny's tonight so that I can try not to freeze. Waking up with frost on my windows repeatedly is not my idea of a pleasant experience. Now, a lot of the stuff that I do that I'm told is inappropriate, it would not be inappropriate in my own house, but I don't have one. And the money that I had that was supposed to go to something like that all got took, all got stolen over false charges that they had to drop repeatedly over and over and over again. All it would take is one friend or family member to care. That's all it takes, but they have to actually care. They can't be a friend like Kaitlynne Tatum, who ignored me for 6 years and then wants to do what it is that mandated reporters do when they realize they can go to prison, which is play stupid. That's the part where they go through the checklist. This is the checklist of things you got to do so it looks like you was going to do something. In reality, I needed Kaitlynne Tatum to act as a friend or family member, which means I needed her to find out what's going on. But she didn't care in the last 6 years to find out what was going on. She wanted to be gung-ho about doing what she wanted to do. You get to see how Michelle Stewart couldn't message me in 2 weeks like she said that she would. After saying that she wouldn't do that again when she did it for 3 days, she said she wouldn't do that again. And then she understood, and then she did it for a full 2 weeks, over 2 weeks. She said that she would at least message me back in a timely and efficient manner. But no, instead it was 2 weeks. And then, of course, just like the time before that where she pretended like she was gonna, because I called her out on her Facebook, just like I called out many other people who lied to me on their Facebook. You didn't keep your word, that's not my fault. But I'm being victimized because you didn't keep your word. Now, you expecting me to say nothing about that is just ludicrous. Just because I'm a male doesn't mean that I deserve to be abused. Just because I'm a male doesn't make me responsible for the sins of other males. And just because we have taught women that they can victimize a man at any point in time and get away with it. They're allowed to hit us whenever they want. They're told that they get one for free. They're always allowed to hit us for free. And some women think that that resets every 10 seconds. That she's allowed to hit you for free every 10 seconds. And I gotta tell you, I've been on the receiving end of that. It don't feel good. Guess how many women I hit? None. N-O-N-E. Ever. But that's not what it's about. It's about popularity. That guy is good looking. Your mama telling you all the time he's good looking. You're going to have good looking grandbabies. Oh, she's hoping for grandbabies. You let that guy beat you 3 times a year, 4 times a year, easy. And when you're pissed off about it, instead of saying, hey, my husband James was beating on me, it's men. And you're ambiguously keeping his name out of it. Because you don't want him to understand that you're saying that specifically about him. You're just complaining about men. You ain't done nothing wrong. Well, that's cowardly, and it's hurtful to our entire gender.
Before I go on vacation, and then I'm working like middle of the day. When are you going on vacation? Like so basically after I'm done work on Thursday. Yeah. But I'm just gonna drive to Onion City to pick up my mom, and then we're gonna fly. And we're gonna do a really early flight. But we're gonna go to Salt Lake City. My grandma lives just outside of Salt Lake, and we're gonna pick up my grandma, and I'm taking the 3 of them to the casino, or the 3 of us to the casino. And so she lives like 2 hours from like this little casino town in Nevada. Oh, cool. We all love to gamble, so it's like my mom's birthday. So my mom and I will fly there, pick her up, we'll take her car, drive down there, spend 3 nights, gamble, drive back, drop her off. Hopefully you will win something. I hope so. They never do, but yeah. I feel like someday I could.
I like Nevada. That's like the only place I've gone out of state.
Yeah.
It's really good. You can stay at like a little casino hotel.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's not bad. It's fun. It's something different.
I got pretty much everything packed up. Take some carried out to my vehicle, and I have to make room for my vehicle. Just don't forget. I also have about 15 minutes worth of sunlight to try to panhandle enough to get something. Something that you guys don't look at when you see me getting $800 disability a month. While you're pissed off at me for getting free money, you're not looking at the manual labor that I did for years, or the fact that you can still perform that manual labor, and you're getting paid between $2,900 and $3,200 a year, which is still a lot more than I'm making. Sorry, between $2,900 and $3,200 per month. That's because you have to pay your overhead. Now, maybe you got a wife who's paying half of that, or a husband who's paying half of that. You tell me I'm lucky I don't have a husband or a wife. That's somebody who's paying half your fucking bills. And then, of course, there's the perks. If you wasn't getting those perks, you wouldn't still be there as much bitching about your wife and your husband as you do. Why are you there despite the fact that you want to talk about how your husband is an idiot who won't stop playing video games and doing jack shit with his life? Meanwhile, he's bitching that you won't do nothing except spend all of his money on getting your hair did and getting your nails did. Men are not your fucking piggy banks. Oh wait, yes we are. Yes we are, because although it's not okay to expect the gender BS out of women, we as men are still held to that bullshit. Meanwhile, we are held accountable for the wrongdoings of men who are not us. We are held accountable for the wrongdoings of women who are not us. And if a woman victimizes us, it's our fault for being there. What women do you treat like that? The homeless ones and the mentally ill ones. Y'all got no idea how much drama in the average day coming out of women that I hear. And I gotta try to turn my ears off to it. Because if I don't, it'll drive anybody to fucking drinking. Anyway, I'm glad Jennifer's going to Vegas. That sounds great. Hope she's there a while. Matter of fact, I hope she wins $1 million and decides not to come back. Hope she decides to buy herself a a condo in Las Vegas. I hope for good things for the lady. As long as it prevents her from being an unpleasant person in my environment. I also get that since she works there at the Starbucks, it's her environment and not mine. I am the subservient. That's the problem with me being victimized out of all of my resources. I've been victimized out of those resources to the point that I literally cannot do a goddamn thing for myself. Well, my predators claimed every goddamn thing I said was a lie, and the cops refused to take a look. None of you who claimed to be my friends tried to help me turn it in. I'm tired of being treated like shit because of the rapist that you keep going back to. He raped you. What the fuck are you going back to him for? How many times are you gonna tell me that he fucking raped you and beat you and then go back to him? Expecting me to come drop every goddamn thing I'm doing to fucking rescue your dumbass because you're the fucking retard who keeps going back to another fucking beating. I don't care how big his fucking dick is, you're stupid. I don't care how good it feels, you're stupid. I don't care if he lies to you and tells you you're pretty, you're stupid. What are you gonna do when you're feeling insecure? You're gonna go chomp down some Ben & Jerry's, swallowed swiftly by your own goddamn finger. You end up one direction or the other. Either it plumps you up or you puke it up. And then you complain that it's men's fault. It's men's fault that you're undesirable. It's men's fault that you're a complete and total fucking fruitcake. It's men's fault that you spend all of this time and excess money trying to purdy yourself up to try to compete with the next girl. And then you tell us it's men's fault, men's fault, men's fault, men's fault. Like men aren't pressured every goddamn day by you fucking animals. I'm not sure if you noticed, but human beings are animals. Every one of us. Whether you're a man or a woman. You are a mammal in specific. You are a bipedal mammal. That means you walk on two legs. The terminology that I use, this isn't imaginary terminology. Describing imaginary things. Bonjour, thanks, man. Inch by inch, it's all a cinch. Sorry about that. I'm almost done. That lady's mopping the floor over by my stuff, so kind of got to walk over it to get my stuff and bring it out to my vehicle. The thing is, I don't have a place to do these things. No matter where I go, I'm told it's inappropriate. I definitely can't make the calls that I need to make inside of the Starbucks. That's definitely over the top. And also, for goddamn sure, I can't make any of those calls alone. That would be stupid. But who's gonna call me? I mean, shit. Kaitlynne Tatum? Yeah, 6 years it took her to fucking call me. 6 goddamn years. And even then, all she wanted to do was ignore the point, ignore her own wrongdoings, pretend that her wrongdoings didn't fucking happen. If you're gonna help me, you need to do what you should have done as a friend 6 fucking years ago, which is actually give a shit about your fucking friend, you dumb cunt. Moral of the fucking story, don't be a Kaitlynne Tatum. Don't be a Teresa Orne. Don't be a Brandon Ratner. Don't be a Veronica Randall, whose picture, by the way, is the cover to this video. V. Randall. No, it's Veronica. And she's one of them wingnut fucks who thinks that because she has an insecurity day that it's okay to destroy people's lives. She's no different from Natalie Bollinger or Maddie Boa or Alicia Bollinger. Fucking hair in my mouth. Hopefully my sign is still in my book bag here because I do need to make money so I can go to the Denny's. It's warm. And of course, I'm not gonna get fucked with for having to live in my vehicle if I'm in there being a fucking customer. Is it in here? It is not. Alright, well. Suppose I'll have to make another. For a lot of places that I was at, the predators always want to blame it on everyone else in the household. Joshua Eichelberger, he was squarely the problem. I couldn't say anything about it. How do I do it? Because I had to worry that, of course, when you've got a woman who's pushing 450 pounds, she's feeling real lucky that she's got a man who will have sex with her, even if he has to be extremely drunk to get it up. And she got kids with the guy. And of course, he's not even supposed to be allowed at the house. Plus, there's the fact that she was accepting money from me for rent, although the government was paying her rent. All a big, complicated issue, and with her being a baby factory, that's what they term it today, because with the fact that people can't afford to have kids, anything more than 4 of them is considered a baby factory. In some areas, they figure if you got 2 or 3 of them, you're a baby factory. China, well, if you have 1 girl, it's a baby factory, apparently. Who knows? I've never been to China, I just know what I've been told. Chances are pretty good based on my experiences. It's all propaganda. There's also people who want to bullshit me, and then when they get busted bullshitting me, they want to be angry at me like I did something wrong by busting them. I give them a chance to explain it. You're gonna go out of your way to take every goddamn thing wrong, but then you want to do a bunch of shit that's real fucking suspicious, and you don't want to get called on it. Well, that's pretty fucking suspicious too. If there's a reasonable explanation, give me that reasonable explanation. I don't need bullshit. You're not willing to hear what I'm going through or hear my side. I've always been willing to hear yours. But then again, are you giving me your side, or are you regurgitating bullshit at me and fishing for excuses? I ain't no dummy. When you've been through as much shit as I have, through as many places I have, with as many scammers as I have, and as many druggies as I have, and as many schizophrenics as I have, you get a pretty good fucking understanding of the situation that you're fucking in. Right? But those of you who don't know shit about homelessness, that want to make suggestions based on your ignorance, and then pretend that that fixes everything. You said go to a homeless shelter. Holy shit. Alright, I'm sure I have a in here. In one of these fucking bags. Since I want to eat dinner, I better fucking find it, right? Make myself a sign. This ain't what I want to be fucking doing. You know, I wanted to go and see my loved ones. Wouldn't it have been nice if I could have left Virginia, gone to Boulder, and seen my loved ones without getting fucked with? If people would have just left me the fuck alone and let me go see my friends. Of course, turns out none of them were really my friends. It had nothing to do with who was right and who was wrong. It had to do with popularity. Every one of them figured if they argue with me, tell me that their involvement was not fucking important. Bullshit, your involvement shows that the cops lied, and so did the fucking Bollingers. But whatever, right? You're not going to listen to the autistic retard. That's what it comes down to. I must be an autistic retard. I stuck up for myself, so I must be retarded. I stuck up for myself while having a penis. I must deserve to be abused. I stuck up for myself and defended myself against women and their male friends who are all fucking junkies, and you helped them to get away with it by looking the other way. For all these years, you fucking bullshitting me should not have been a fucking factor if you were an actual friend. An actual friend wouldn't pretend to be too goddamn busy for 6 fucking years. What the fuck kind of friends are we gonna be in 6 years of you ignoring me? 6 years of putting off the fact that I exist, pretending that I fucking don't exist. What the fuck kind of a friend are you really? You're not. Now here I am, my fucking whole goddamn body hurts. And I have to jump through 1,000,001 goddamn hoops that make no goddamn difference because I have to do it alone. It doesn't work when you're called mentally ill. You can't do it alone. They won't let you. My predators work together to destroy my fucking life. What the fuck did my friends do? They ignored it. Because they didn't give a fuck what anybody does to me. They still fucking don't. And then they want to pretend like I'm a piece of shit because they've ignored 6 fucking years worth of all this. And then they still want to fucking talk over me and still ignore the last 6 goddamn years. Why the fuck do you think I'm being abused? You fucking idiots! You don't even bother to fucking get an answer when you do fucking interrupt me over and over again to answer a fucking question that you had. That you're only using that question because you're digging for an excuse to pretend like you didn't fucking do anything goddamn wrong. Y'all have no idea how goddamn expensive this shit is. And yes, there's stuff I gotta get. You need to get this, you need to get that. If you don't have one of these, you're not trying to take care of yourself. Like, holy fuck. How much money do you think I fucking have? And then, of course, you say, oh, well, you know, fucking if you do this and you do that, I'll help you tomorrow at 11. I get there at 11. Hey, why don't you go talk to her instead? Hey, why don't you ask somebody else? Ain't you got somebody else you can ask? No, I don't. No, I fucking don't. Why don't you ask these people and why don't you ask those people? Well, you know what? Most of these people I have asked. I fucking did ask. Many of them, the only reason that I was in contact with them is because they said yes, they would fucking help me. I'm pissed off at them because they didn't fucking help. They ignored me and wanted to talk about themselves and their own fucking problems. They never bothered to find out a goddamn thing about me. Then they want to be pissed off because I told their personal business. Well, they weren't bothering to find out about me. They were busy talking about them. How the fuck does that help? How the fuck is trying to convince me not to turn in my fucking predators help? How is refusing to look at evidence fucking help? How is being fucking negative and saying, oh, well, you can't do this and you can't do that and it's not going to work? Well, you know what? The help that I asked for is the help that legally I was supposed to have. And yes, it does fucking work if you fucking work together. But you didn't work together. You didn't care what happened to me. You didn't care how many predators worked together because they saw something on YouTube that's fucking bullshit. Or something on Facebook that's fucking bullshit. You don't care about the legality of it. You don't care about any of that. What you care about is that I have a dick and I'm homeless and I am easy to take advantage of. When I say fuck this goddamn country, I mean it. I can't look at you as decent excuses for human beings after all you've done. After all you have turned a blind eye to. You claim to be my friend and you will generalize about mental illness and maybe homelessness. But you will never once speak up for the actual fucking victim. Now there's a very, very tiny few people who eventually spoke up. Eventually, kind of, sort of, almost. Hopefully there's enough tobacco here for me to smoke me a tobacco. It's wet, so it might not even burn. I don't know where my sign is or my Sharpie. On the bright side, apparently on Thursday, she'll be gone and hopefully a better assistant manager will be there. Bree is pretty alright. She's kind of mean, but she's not mean when Bree is here. Jennifer just hates men. The have to deal with it and put up with it because you don't care. It's only wrong if a man acts in that way. Well, that's what forces a man to act in that way. Is that you will let female predators do whatever the fuck they want. And we don't fucking deserve it. You will let a woman beat on us in public. We're not even allowed to push her away from us. You try claiming it's because we're bigger than women. We're not. There are maybe 3 women in that whole place that weigh less than I do. You want to pretend that I must be stronger because of my genitalia. Like magically, red muscle tissue and white muscle tissue is far stronger and genetically superior in a male. Why is it that we have sexist women selling this crap? Oh, well, men are stronger than women. Really? Really? Yeah, you go ahead and watch your little brother run his mouth at Desiree and then fucking sell me that shit afterwards. You guys always want to throw the extremes at us, don't you? But we're not allowed to bring up the extremes the other way. Like serial killer nurses killing more people than, well, all other serial killers combined in this country. Female nurses have killed more people than all other serial killers combined in this country. I'm going to say this one more again for those of you in the back that didn't hear me the first 3 fucking times. Female nurses, that's right, female nurses as serial killers have killed more people than all other serial killers combined. Keep in mind, Jack Kevorkian was neither a female nor a nurse, and he is even considered to be a serial killer. They say he murdered like 84 people. Well, these people wanted their lives to end for a reason. Because they weren't people to your society and they wanted their pain to end. Just as I want mine to end. rather than try to commit suicide, I try to get help. And then you guys pretend like you want to be my friend and want to help. And you do the exact things that push a person to commit suicide. Predictably, over and over. And when I got that money, I should have conserved more of it for McDonald's, or sorry, for Denny's and for Starbucks. It's been cold, my lips are chapped as fuck. My fingers keep getting cold enough to crack the skin. This sucks. We got all this hatred towards the mentally ill. Every time somebody commits a crime, you blame all the mentally ill for it. By the way, that would be over 80% of the population that's been diagnosed with at least something that's in the DSM-5, which means those 20% of you who have not been diagnosed with mental illness are weirdos. You're either better at hiding it, or you're lucky enough to have rich parents that buy you whatever the fuck you want. Friends like Kaitlynne Tatum. Friends who literally do everything that they can to ignore you for years. While you're victimized for years, and you say, hey, here's my boundaries. My boundaries are this. You have shown that you're not a friend in the last 6 years. So you need to leave. Then she wants to pretend like she cares for just a minute. Why? Because I had to fucking post up on her timeline for her friends and family to see. I explained that people were dead because Kaitlynne Tatum didn't want to do her job. She didn't want to do her job as a mandated reporter. And she didn't want to do any friend or family shit. I got a lot of respect for Jack Kevorkian. He tried to do the right thing for those of us who will never be considered human beings by your society. If a pretty blonde-haired, blue-eyed white girl you want to stick your dick in commits a crime, you'll help her as a police officer to destroy an innocent man's life. If she a fat, ugly, disabled woman, good fucking luck. Whether or not the cops do their job is not dependent on how hard you work. That's like believing that how much you get paid is dependent on how hard you work. I've had people tell me, why don't you get a job at Starbucks? Why don't you get a job at Denny's? Just so you know, I've applied at Starbucks many times. Many, many, many times. It doesn't get you hired. The fact that I can't function well enough to work. I can't take care of myself. I can't take care of myself because of the abuse that I have endured. If you're a friend, in the last 6 years, you would have tried to understand that. Or you could be a Veronica Randall. And that's just gross. Who needs friends like that? Who needs friends like Kaitlynne Tatum? Kaitlynne Tatum, Danny Francis, and Michelle Stewart, I told them all to leave at the same time. I was cleaning that kind of people off of my Facebook before Natalie was killed. Good riddance. It's dark now. It's not exactly safe to fly a sign, and they're also more likely to call the cops on you if you fly a sign at night. Just something to think about. All of these mandated reporters, instead of helping me to turn it in, wanted to do everything else. Anything except help me to turn it in. The people who could have helped me in person didn't help me in person, which forced me to go somewhere else. The services that I was being forced to go to that were supposed to help me to stop the victimization did nothing to help stop the victimization. And as a result, I was forced to move again and again and again. You never get to get established when you're going to services who are just riding the clock. Without a friend or family member who actually cares, all I get is abuse. What are the chances of somebody helping me before I end up dead in their parking lot? They're not very fucking good. I can hope. I don't get to go do stuff that's fun with my friends because I don't fucking have any. Lewis and Cheryl, they could have helped me turn in multiple situations, but they didn't. They didn't fucking care. They claimed that they would, but then, of course, Lewis's alcoholism got in the way. And Cheryl, she's busy babysitting her husband. There's a lot of people that are nice, but they don't understand, and they don't understand by repeatedly saying, oh, well, I'll call my friend at this place, or I'll call my friend at that place. No, we need to call them professionally, which means not calling your friends privately. It means calling the agency with the victim to turn it in. When are you going to make time to do that? You're not gonna. I didn't matter to you, and now there's 6 years worth of abuse stacked up. 6 years worth of abuse that Kaitlynne Tatum could have cut off right from the very start from actually turning into what it has. And all she would have had to do is care enough to do something when I came to her for help. Something other than blow me off repeatedly and show me that she's not going to look at evidence. She's not going to speak up. She's never going to do a goddamn thing useful. Just like Michelle Stewart never looked at that evidence. Claimed that she would. If I sent it to her, she'd listen to it while she was at work. Because she can work and listen to it at the same time. She claimed that she would, if she couldn't message me or call me, that she would message me and let me know that she couldn't at least. But no, instead of doing that, she ghosted me for 2 weeks, knowing full well and acknowledging that she was well aware before it even happened. She acknowledged how harmful it is to me. And then she did it for 2 weeks. Just dropped my goddamn cigarette. Probably light my whole fucking car on fire now. Nope, I got lucky. It went out. Everybody's got an opinion about what I should be doing, but nobody's looking at evidence. My predators look through to try to dig out every bit and piece that they can to try to pretend I'm a bad guy. What do my friends do? I can't even pay them enough to get them to look. I can't pay them enough. If I pay them to help me, even then, they'll just take advantage of me. Tell me I had it coming. I deserve it because of something they weren't there for, that they're just digging for an excuse like they didn't do nothing wrong because, oh, Sean, it's not wrong for me to rip you off because of what you did to Natalie. Well, what did I do to Natalie, huh? Did I rape her? No. Did I molest her? No. Did I stalk her? No. Did I ask for help calling off the fucking dogs? You goddamn right I did. Was I nice about it? Yes, I was extremely fucking nice about it. Was I mean about it? Eventually, yes. Eventually. If these people were really my friends, they would have told the police the things that they told me. They would have told the public the things that they told me instead of forcing me to post it publicly. And then you want to play victim because you went out of your way to assist my predators in getting away with their crimes? You shouldn't have claimed to be my friend if you weren't my friend. If you ain't gonna do friend shit, don't stick around on my fucking friends list. Good to be rid of you. Thanks for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get out. Remember, you are your brother's keeper and no victim left behind. Even if you want to stick around on their Facebook long after you've shown yourself to be a piece of shit, that person deserves better. And you hanging around after the fact, you're just postponing the inevitable. You don't give a shit about them.